Hello, my name is Tom Gray, Deputy Editor for Boxing at the Sporting News. I am joined by WBO and Ring Magazine super lightweight champion Josh Taylor. Josh, how are you?
I'm good, Tom. Aye, how's yourself, mate? Long time no see. It's been a wee while since I've spoken to you. So, aye, I'm all good, mate. How's yourself?
Very good. Good to see you, and glad you're back. I was going to say to you, it's been that long. You've been out so long. This seems like a new chapter in your career. How is your relationship with boxing at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely is a new chapter in my career. This is the second time I've had to moved coaches. But I feel like I've found myself again. There was a sort of on a soul searching mission. Just trying to find myself again. The way I was going, I felt like I was getting sort of steered away from my kind of style of boxing and emphasis in the way I do things and the way I train and stuff. I think I was just getting taken away from what makes me me and what made me the undisputed champion. So I had to do a little bit of, getting back to find the right sort of people around me and getting the right like-minded people around me again. So yeah, I finally found that. I took my time to make the decision. And I feel I've made the perfect decision in choosing Joe McNally and Declan. So, yeah, I'm absolutely flying. We've hit the ground running, and this is our first training camp together, first full training camp together, and we are just absolutely flying. We're absolutely buzzing with the way things are going, and I feel like I'm back to the form I was pre Progre. So I feel like I'm back to my best and. This is when you'll see the best of Josh Taylor. I believe this is when you're going to start seeing the full potential and me unlocking my full potential in my career.
Great. Like you say, first fight under Joe McNally and Declan. I don't want you to get into specifics of your game plan, but what have they been working on, do you think? Or what have you guys been working on to get you back to your best specifically that you can
just been working on a lot of different things, but a lot more of the same stuff that I've been great at than what made me in the first place. A lot of getting back to tapping into my old style, a lot of tapping it and working on other things that I could improve on as well. But you're always learning in this game, So I just feel that I'm back to the same sort of form and kind of flow that I was in before the Progre fight and just after it, So I feel like I'm back to that kind of form and the way of moving and punching and boxing, and I just feel like I'm kind of got the spring back in my step again for boxing, and yeah, I'm loving where I am at the minute. I feel like I've known these guys for a long time. I feel like I've known these guys for a really long time. They've all welcomed me with open arms, and we're all got a good close bond, professional bond in the gym. They're the bosses there in the gym. But we've got a real good bond outside the gym as well, which is great, which makes up for it, especially when I'm spending so much time away from home and away from loved ones and friends and family. So this makes up for it, that I can just pick the phone up to these guys whenever I want, or go for a cup of coffee with them, or they invite me around to their house or whatever at the weekends and stuff. When you're spending so much time away from home alone, having that sort of support there as well is brilliant. So I feel like I'm back to really enjoying what I'm doing again and really loving what I'm doing. So yeah, full credit and full thanks to Joe and Declan for making me feel so welcome and basically finding myself again.
Great. Teofimo Lopez up next. Terrific fighter. Has been known to blow hot and cold here and there, but you'll be preparing for him at his absolute best. What does he do well, Josh?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be preparing for the version that showed up against Lomachenko. I'll be preparing for that kind of level of Teofimo, which is, and if that guy shows up, he is a very dangerous fighter. Very, very fast, very explosive, powerful, and a great boxing IQ as well. But having said that, I see a lot of flaws in his game and a lot of things that he does fundamentally wrong. Which I can expose on fight night, and I plan on exposing it on fight night, and I'm pretty sure that I will. So I feel that he is a very dangerous fighter, and if this is one that shows up on top form, if I've got a good tough fight on my hands, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, Tom. It's got the makings to be a high-level chess match boxing fight, or it's got the makings to be an absolute firecracker, and whoever lands the first and most biggest punches is going to win by knockout. So it's got the makings to be a great fight. It's certainly going to be exciting while it lasts.
Great. A lot of people are saying that the build-up, by the time you start doing press conferences out in New York, the build-up could be on pay-per-view. You know, both of you guys are renowned for being fiery. It doesn't take much for you to get your game face on, let's face it. Does it give you an extra bit of motivation knowing that the build-up is likely to be spicy, shall we say? It's not just him, it's him and his old man. What do you think it's going to be like?
Yeah, well, like I don't really bother about it, but I know I've got a good dance partner here. You know, I know I've got a good dance partner in terms of he's going to talk a bit of smack. I'm going to talk a bit of shit as well, and and it's going to be a little bit of winding each other up, and it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. It makes it exciting, Tom. There's nothing worse than going up against someone and it just doesn't say two words and yeah, no. It's boring. It's really boring. This is going to be exciting. One. He's a character, he's a character. Him and his dad have got a lot of things to say and a lot of things to come up with. And plus, he is a very good fighter. Two, it's in Madison Square Garden, topping the bill. The things that most fighters dream of doing, becoming stateside and topping the bill at Madison Square Garden. So I'm one of a very fortunate few to land these couple of fights. And, if you can't get up for this and excited for this, then you may as well retire. So I'm dead excited for this one. I've got the spring in my step, and I can't wait to go over there and getting amongst it, getting above, going into New York City, going and doing the stock exchange thing and all that kind of stuff, and doing the press conferences and getting involved in big fight week and being dead excited for it. I can't wait. This is the things that dreams are made of. So I'm absolutely buzzing for it. If you can't get up for things like this, then you may as well retire.
Got it. It's your first time headlining in New York. You fought in Brooklyn many years ago. It's a huge fight. It'll be a huge occasion. The atmosphere will be insane, I think, on fight night. Is it enough, Josh, just to win here, or do you need to put on a real show? This is a great opportunity for you to showcase your best. I mean, a win is priority, but how important is it to put on a real show here?
Well, the way I'm performing in the gym, I'm going to put on a good performance, and it's going to be a good statement. It's going to be back to that's the Josh Taylor that we all know. Forgetting I've only had one off night, in fucking 10 years, so it happens to the best of them. I mean, Mayweather had bad nights. Froch had bad nights. All the best have had bad nights. All the top fighters have had bad nights, and it doesn't define who they are. I've had my bad performance in my career now, and now that's all put back to bed. Everyone's quick to forget what I've achieved and what I've done, but the good things I've done in the sport in only 18 fights. I had one bad night, and all of a sudden I'm past it. I'm a has-been and this and that. So I've got a whole lot of point to prove and a big, massive middle finger for a lot of people to say, here, there we go. I'm the best. I'm still the best. So yeah, I've got a bit of a chip on my shoulder here to shut a lot of people up and say, "Fuck you, let's go. I'm the best." So yeah, there's definitely that sort of fire in my stomach as well to put on a big performance as well. But I don't have to. I know what I can do, and I know I'll let the boxing and I'll let the performance put the statement on. But the way I'm performing in the gym, it's going to be a great fight.
Great. Let me put this to you, Josh. We lost Ken Buchanan last month. For many of us, the best Scottish fighter of all time, one of the best lightweights of all time. You've replicated so much of Ken Buchanan's career in your own career, becoming world champion, becoming undisputed. Now you're going to be over at Madison Square Garden. Ken Buchanan used to call that his second home at one time. What does that mean to you?
Yeah. It's brilliant, it's probably not sunk in yet what I'm doing, in my career, how similar our careers have been, myself and Ken. From the very first thing was like down to the nickname. I never knew he was the Tartan Legend when I was picking my own nickname. The reason I got called the Tornado was because I was blowing everyone away in sparring when I was turning professional. And Barry the ex-manager McGuigan was obviously like, what about the tornado? Because you're blowing everybody away. And I'm like, oh, well, I want something Scottish in there. I want it because I'm proud of where I'm from. I'm proud of I want to be patriotic. So what about the Tartan tornado? So that came about like that. And then it wasn't until about a year later I realised that Ken had the same the nickname, the Tartan Legend. I was like, oh my God. And then, I've won my titles and then won the big titles away from home like him as well. And now I'm back to Madison Square Garden where he done most of his big fights. And, and if I can win this, and when I win this one, it's going to be a huge story and a great tale to tell the kids and the grandkids when their dad done what one of Scotland's greatest has done, and I'm alongside them. So, it's definitely exciting, and I can't wait to get in and get stuck in amongst it, and even down to my fight shots. This one I've done a tribute for Ken, to the ones that he wore in Madison Square Garden as well, and I'm doing that because I couldn't make his funeral and his send off, so I'm doing this as a tribute to Ken and paying my respects to him in that way. So yeah, this one's very a prideful moment for me, and a special moment for me as well. This fight.
Well said, champ. Let me switch tack for just a second. Spence Crawford looks official. You've had an eye on the welterweight division now for, can't even count it, must be a year or two, maybe even longer than that. Can you give me a quick breakdown of that fight and who wins?
I've changed my mind on this fight 4 or 5 times. I think Spence is very methodical and breaks you down, is very good with his jab, and he doesn't do anything sort of out of the ordinary. Spence, he's keeps the basics and does the basics very well, and breaks people down with it with his jab, and breaks them down with his sharp shooting, punching, and his boxing, and steps to you and breaks you down. Crawford has got a little bit more to his game. He can sort of box and move on the back foot and the front foot. Very good come forward counter fighter. Can go southpaw and orthodox, and quite hard to read. So I've changed my mind on this fight about 4 or 5 times. But I think I've mostly come to the conclusion that Crawford, slightly just edging towards Crawford just because he's got a little bit more to his game, I think. But having said that, Spence is a huge for welterweight as well, and it's a very, very interesting fight. The two guys are the best in the division. We're about to find who is number one. So for me, as a boxing fan, I'm very excited for it. Probably edging just towards Crawford slightly, but yeah, it's a great fight.
Awesome. At the moment, the division you're in is excellent, has been for several years now. Not only is it good just now, but you've got the likes of Haney is probably heading to 140. We could see Ryan Garcia. In fact, Ryan Garcia will be heading to 140. Tank Davis has had a fight at 140. Are you hedging your bets now completely on leaving that division, or are you still eyeing the main goal, which was to become a two-time champion?
Yeah, I'm still planning on becoming a two-weight world champion. Absolutely. In terms of achievement wise, there's nothing left for me to do at 140. I've won all the belts. I've done it all. I've been there, done it, and wore the t-shirt. But now there is the division is heating back up again. You've got your likes of your Devin Haney's talking about coming up, your Ryan Garcia's, your Tank Davis's. You've got rematch with Prograis and all that there as well. So there is still big fights there for me. But for me, legacy-wise and achievement-wise, what there's left for me to do at 140 is nothing. But there is big fights still there to be made at 140. So yeah, I'm not all in and going up to 147 already. I'm still open to staying at 140 and having big fights there as well, because there's big fights to be made. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see how everything goes, and then after the fight we'll see what offers come my way and what fights there is.
Yeah, smart to keep your options open, I guess, when you've got so many big fights in both divisions. Finally, then, a message for Mr. Teofimo Lopez. What's your message to him ahead of this fight? It's such a good fight.
I've got no message for him, man.
You've got a message for him.
I'll say what I'm going to say to him when I see him with his face. I just prepare well, be there, be ready, no excuses, and may the best man win. That's all. I've got nothing to say. I've got no feelings towards him. Just that I'm going to smash his absolute brains in. So yeah, it's just I can't wait. Can't wait.
And that was the message. Thanks, champ. For any other boxing news that you're looking for, go to sportingnews.com. This is Tom Gray, Deputy Editor for Sporting News with Josh Taylor. Thank you so much.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me, Tom.